For those of you that I haven't met, I am Kim Waller, but we have a special guest tonight that I'm super, super excited about because I've asked her to do a call, and if you follow her on Facebook, I think she is a genius in how she markets Plexus and how she has built a brand for herself. And I think every one of y'all told y'all go follow her because she's got these two little girls, and that she is a busy mom, but that's no excuse. She went Emerald. She's going to tell you her story, and she is, I'm sure, pretty close to Sapphire because she is a rock star. But y'all, her videos of her little girl, even Tristan will get on there and she just watches the videos, and then Taylor will call me and she'll go, Mom, did you see Annabelle doing her little Facebook? She does little Facebook lives while she's doing her makeup. And she's what, 2?
She's 3, yeah.
3? Oh my gosh, they're hilarious. So anyway, Roxanne, thank you so much for just pouring into our team. I'm excited to hear your story.
You're welcome. Yes, my little girls, even Josephine, she's 1, and she is just a little trip. I'm just like, she's getting it all from her sister. She's soaking it in. When we were at convention, I would run into people, and they're like, "Are you Annabelle's mom?" I'm like, "Oh, Lord, people know me because of Annabelle." I called my husband. I was like, "Annabelle's more known than it is for me."
That's awesome.
But thank you so much, Kim. I feel honored to talk to your team tonight. You guys have a fantastic leader, and I'm just really excited I love jumping on other team calls and pouring into other teams because I feel like we need that. You know, you guys hear Kim a lot, or you hear your top leaders, and sometimes it's just good to get that fresh idea and just another perspective. And I know I always leave team calls that, you know, other leaders host for my team, and I walk away like, wow, you know, I can just use that to work my business, and it just changes everything. So I'm super excited. So I will go ahead and just tell you my story and how I got started with Plexus. So I am 27 years old. I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. I have 2 little girls, a 3-year-old and a 13-month-old little girl. 2 little girls. I'm married. My husband is in law enforcement. I got my college degree in project management, HR, and I was set on, you know, working 9 to 5 and putting our girls in daycare and just doing that. And well, whenever I had Annabelle, something in me was like, I cannot leave this sweet, precious girl. There's just no way. So we had just moved to South Florida. I knew absolutely nobody. I was terrified. It was the first time I ever moved away from family. We had just had a newborn. I was just like, oh my gosh. I just had quit my job. I had waited tables all through college. So that's where I had left my job, where I'd always worked. So whenever we moved to South Florida, I was fortunate enough to stay home for about 4 months with Annabelle. And then after that, my husband was like, you know, you're going to have to go back to work. And I was like, I just can't stomach the thought of putting her in daycare right now. So what I did was I ended up waiting tables there in South Florida at a restaurant called Bonefish. And that's what I did. I waited tables all night. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever worked in the service industry, but it is hard work. It's not you just wait tables and make money. You have to roll silverware, you have to do side work, sauces, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I was just exhausted. I was a new mom. I was tired. I was suffering from a little bit of postpartum depression. It was just not a really good time. And my sister-in-law, Stephanie Machat, she's the Sapphire Ambassador with Plexus, reached out to me. She was new to Plexus, and I remember looking it up and going, no, there is no way I'm doing this. Like, absolutely not. So I ended up watching her for 4 months, and you guys, I was just so tired of being tired and just not feeling good. I had baby weight to lose, and I just wanted to feel better. So I ended up reaching out to her and saying, you know what, I'm just going to join as an ambassador. I'm not going to work the business like probably all of us on this call said. And I just really want to feel better. So I ended up joining as ambassador, buying the double welcome pack because it is the best deal. And I started taking the products. After 2 weeks on the products, I felt different. I didn't have this like huge testimony or like feeling dramatically different. There was just like little things. Like I was sleeping better. I noticed I wasn't napping during the day. I wasn't as cranky. even people at my work, I remember working and they were like, you just seem like you're happier. It was just, even my husband was noticing. And then another thing I wanted to mention is my husband was so not supportive. When I had mentioned Plexus, he literally kind of rolled his eyes like I did and was like, I can't believe you're doing this. Like literally just did not even want to talk about Plexus. And I was like, okay. So after 2 weeks, he noticed a difference in me. He still wasn't a huge fan of it. But I had got my first paycheck and it was $500, you guys, my first month. And I will tell you, I had no idea what I was doing. Like I said, I did not want to work the business, but to me, I'm a natural sharer. So if I go, to a Mexican restaurant and have awesome service, the cheese dip is hot, the food was good, I'm naturally going to tell my neighbor Jessica and say, hey, have you guys eaten at this place? It's so good. So that's just my personality. I'm a natural sharer. So I noticed that I was just naturally sharing about Plexus. Like if I would go on a run, I would say, I can't believe I just went on a 2-mile run. Like I have not done that since before I had Annabelle. So people were saying, what are you doing? And I was sending them my website and they were ordering and joining my team. No idea what I was doing. By my second month, I had made $1,800. And that's when my husband sat down with the compensation plan and was like, this is legit. Like, I cannot find anything wrong with this compensation plan. He was like, if you can make, at least $1,000 a month, you could stay home. So I ended up putting my 2 weeks in at Bonefish that night. And I have been a stay-at-home mom ever since. Praise the Lord, because he knew that that is what I wanted to do. He knew that, even when I was going through school to get my degree, that I was going to do something totally different. Like I would have never planned this for myself. So that is when I kind of had the aha moment that a lot of us have and say, wow, Plexus is really different. I had done network marketing before. I'm not sure if I had said that, but I was never successful. And the reason I was never successful is I'm a total introvert. Like doing Zoom calls like this is way out of my comfort zone. Speaking at SIP&Cs, I did not host I didn't even go to my first SIP&C, you guys, until I was a Ruby ambassador because I was so terrified of what they would be like. Whenever I heard of SIP&Cs, I just imagined like me bringing my friends there and like trying to like run out the door with an iPad, like trying to sign them up. So that is just kind of what I envisioned. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not dragging my friends to that, because my first MLM company that I joined, it was like, you had to host a party to make any money. I had to have all this inventory. It was just miserable. And I was like, I will never do that again. And that is kind of when I was like, Plexus is different. I've done everything from sitting out on my couch with my newborn, sharing a website. I have not gone anywhere. I haven't had to host any party. I haven't had to deliver anything. So that is when I was like, anyone can do this. Like, and that's when I had that aha moment and was like, I'm sharing about this. So I'm a total introvert. So if you're out there saying, I can't do what she's doing, you can, because I've done it. I have been terrified to do, even team calls, but I've got over that fear. And that's one of the things, such a blessing with Plexus, is you learn so much. It's an amazing community. You make new friends, and you just kind of grow out of your comfort zone. So I will say that if you are nervous about sharing about this opportunity, don't be, because there has been so many people that have joined me that have watched, like I had 3 people join me last month that have watched me for over 2 years, you guys, and have just now said, okay, I'm so tired of watching you. I'm so tired of you being successful with Plexus. I want in. I want to do this with you. So just because they're not showing total interest right now does not mean they're not watching you. People are watching you. They want what you have. So you have to share that. So I ended up running with the business after month 2. I ranked really, really quickly through the ranks because I was serious about it. I was telling everyone about it and I was going all in. There is a difference between dabbling in this company and committing to it 100%. And if you work full time, I worked, for the first 4 months of my journey, waiting tables at night, waking up with a newborn, and sacrificing because I wanted to stay home. So if you want it that bad, you will make time, whether it's waking up 30 minutes before your husband or your kids wake up and going somewhere. If you don't have an office, find a quiet spot, even if it's your living room, and just reach out to potentials, make a list. Do that, because I'm telling you, if you just take that little time, even if it's 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you can give to your business, it will pay off if you set aside time. So, after, jumping all in with the business, I flew through the ranks. I sat at Senior Ruby for a little while and then ranked to Emerald. And I think I'm going to push for Sapphire next month. And it's just been such such a blessing to, like, me and my husband still just like are like, is this for real? Like, are we really going to Hawaii for the second time? It's just incredible. Like, and it's just even more funny to, if you guys have a skeptical spouse, it's just so fun to prove them wrong and laugh and think back at, oh my gosh, what if I just really would have listened to you and not done this? And he was like, oh my gosh, that would have been the biggest mistake. So that is a little bit about my story and how I got started. I'm going to give you guys some top tips. One of my number one top tips is affirmations and speaking life to yourself. Words that you say to yourself or out loud are so powerful. Your brain and your mind is just so powerful. If you say negative things like, oh, I can't do this, or, oh, I'll never be able to be an emerald, or, people don't want what I have, or, oh, she's going to make fun of me if I share with her. Those are things, you guys, that I said to myself in the very, very beginning of my journey. And it really did put me down for a really long time. Like, if people would say negative things about, Plexus on Facebook, to me, that was hurtful. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe she would say that. We've been friends, all through college. And now, like, she's not going to support me. Like, I remember going to my husband and, like, tears, like, I cannot believe this. And those things that people say to you will really get you down. So you have got to have some positive affirmations. And I will say that it does seem so silly in the beginning to say things like that to yourself, because for me I was like, this is so weird. I'm like speaking to myself like all these positive things and breathing all these positive things onto me. And it's strange at first if you're not used to it. But I will tell you that it has changed everything for my business to be able to say, I have products that people need. I have an opportunity that people are desperate for. I have products that are changing people's lives. I am confident. I am proud Plexus ambassador. Things like that have really changed for my business, just because I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous to reach out to her. She's probably going to say no. She's probably going to think this whole network marketing thing is silly, and then that's what I would like when I would send that out, because I always like to send voice messages, and I'll get back to that in a second. They could hear that in your voice. If you're talking those things out loud before you say that, they can hear that negativity. So anytime before I reach out to a dream teamer, I know this probably seems weird, but I tell myself, you have what she needs, Roxy. You have an opportunity that she's desperate for. You have products that she desperately needs. Her family needs this. You have a company that is incredible. You have executive, I breathe all these things, and then I send that voice message. And I am pumped just saying those things to myself. So of course she's going to hear that excitement in my voice. So, and I always tell people to start with 5 positive affirmations at first. And it could be simple as, I will be a gold ambassador by, the end of August. I have products that people need. I have an opportunity that is life-changing. Those kind of things, if you say that first thing in the morning up, I will tell you, give it 60 days. And after that 60 days, if you do not feel any kind of difference in your business, or even in your life, your relationships with people, your family, your husband, they will see a difference. And so I will really say work on that, because positive affirmations have changed everything. Another thing that has really helped me with my business is goal setting. In the beginning, I was doing goal setting, but not really. It was like in my mind, like, okay, yeah, I'll reach out to her, or, I want to be goal by this time, but there was no like action behind it. There wasn't like, okay, to be gold, this is what it's going to take me to do. I'm going to have to reach out to 5 people a day. Every single day. I'm going to have to follow up with all of my customers because I want to convert them to ambassadors the next month. I'm going to have to, reach out to all my level 1s, get them to silver. You have to have a plan. If you can't just say, okay, because I've talked to plenty of my level 1s. They're like, yeah, I want to go gold next month. I'm like, okay, well, what are you going to do? I don't know. Well, you're not going to go gold next month if you don't have a plan. If you're not reaching out to 5 to 10 people a day, you're not going to go gold, because a lot of people think that, I'll just go gold by posting on Facebook. I'm sorry, but posting on Facebook is not going to get you to gold. It will help if you're consistently posting, but you're going to have a plan. You're going to have to goal set. So I will tell you that I was not a good goal setter. I would like have it all jumbled up in my mind of how I'm going to get there, but there was no action. So get a little notebook. It doesn't have to be a fancy little planner or, you know, just something small, and say, okay, I'm going to reach out to these 5 people. I'm going to reach out to, you know, Ashley, Kelly, Samantha, Brian, and Drew on Monday. And then day 2, write down 5 more people. And then, you know, on day 5, reach out to the first 5 that you know, recheck up with them. Hey, you know, follow up with them. So you just have to have a plan and a goal setting action to what you're wanting to achieve. Because I will tell you, I have done some major goal setting to hit my next rank because I want it that bad. And it's not going to happen just by posting on Facebook. You know, you have to duplicate. And one thing that has really helped me if I've ever felt stuck in my business, and yes, I have felt majorly stuck in my business, and I'm sure everyone on this call at one point in time has felt stuck in your business. The only way to feel unstuck in your business is personally recruit. Personally recruit. You will never feel stuck in your business if you are always personally recruiting every single month, because you're always going to have someone to train that new person. And it takes to get to the top is personally recruit. I was stuck for about, I would say 4 months. I was like, you know, just saying negative things to myself, like, oh, why isn't my team working? Why isn't this happening? And I finally was just like, you know, it's not my team. You know, what can I do to better myself? And that's when I was like, you know what? I am going out of my comfort zone. I am reaching out to people. And you guys, I had signed 3 fast start goals in 2 months. 3 fast start goals by me just being like, I'm tired of feeling stuck. I am personally recruiting. I was talking to everyone. I was going to the park. And when I would meet a mom friend, I would say, can I add you on Facebook? I was the crazy lady adding people on Facebook at the park because, for one, I just moved to a new town, so I want to meet new friends, but I want to get my network out there. People need these products. And by posting on or adding them on Facebook, they're going to start seeing my Plexus post. So my first fast start gold, her name is Robin Winiger. She's absolutely amazing. She's going to be going senior gold next month. And she was actually, I was begging my husband to let someone clean our house once a month. 3 bathrooms, 4 bedrooms. We just moved into this bigger house. And I'm like, I am so tired of cleaning all these bathrooms all the time. Can I just get someone to come in and just deep clean once a month? That's it. And cute little Robin showed up at my house, and I was like, oh my gosh, she has her own cleaning business. She would be amazing at this. She's already motivated, obviously. She has her own cleaning business, so she's already in that mindset. So I ended up adding her on Facebook, and I reached out to her after like week 3. And I was like, hey, I know you probably think I'm crazy, but I have an opportunity that I think that you would just blow this out of the water. You're so cute. You're so fun. You're bubbly. You have such a great personality, and I'd love to team up with you. And you guys, she told me no. She was like, thanks, but no thanks. And I was like, oh gosh. She was like, I don't like to mail things out. And I was like, girl, you don't got to mail anything out. I was like, you have a website. And I was kind of talking to her, and she goes, can I come to your house tomorrow? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, you can come to my house tomorrow. Ask me whatever you want. So she shows up, you guys, the next day with like a spiral notebook full of questions. I ended up signing her up that day with a double welcome pack, and she bought her ticket for Vegas and came to convention with me. That is from me stepping out of my comfort zone. You know, most people are like, oh, she would be good, but you know, I don't really know her. I had no idea. I had met her that one time she cleaned my house. That is the first time I met her. But I was like, you know, I'm tired of feeling unstuck. I'm going to sponsor some ambassadors. I'm going to find me my own rock star. I'm going to do this. And hello, God sent me Robin, and she has been, I always tell her, I'm like, you are my breath of fresh air. You know, she just gets it. She's so excited. She loves the business opportunity. She's personally recruiting every month. And it's just been so crazy. So for me, I always tell people, if you feel unstuck, you know, there has got to be a time where you have got to find new runners. You have got to find fresh blood. You have got to find people that want this. And you have to personally recruit. That is how you're going to feel unstuck. So I will tell you that is what has helped me, is personally recruiting. So one thing that I'm really good at, and my team, you know, always says, what do I say? I'm really good at reaching out to dream teamers, people that would be phenomenal at this business And what I do is I send a voice message to them. I always send a voice message because whenever you send a message out to somebody and they see this long paragraph, they're probably going to see plexus somewhere in there and they're just probably going to ignore it. But if they see a voice message, they're going to press play and they're going to listen to it. For me, I have found, 9 times out of 10, they press play and they listen to that video or the message from me, the voice message. And I just think it's just so much more authentic for them to hear your voice, to hear your excitement behind it and why you think that they would be great. So I always lead it with compliments. People don't get complimented very much. I know that every time I send a message to a dream teamer, I always get back like, oh my gosh, that is so sweet of you to say that to me, and I always say, I have sweaty palms sending this message to you right now because I admire you. I look up to you. And, they're always like, don't feel nervous to reach out to me. I just feel so honored that you think all those fabulous things for me. And even if they say, thanks for thinking of me, but right now is just not a good time. Every time they see your plexus post, you are going to be a reflection of what they could be doing because you've already told them how amazing they are and how, people admire them or they have a high influence or they're so bubbly, they have an amazing personality, you could so do this. They're going to read your posts and say, she said I could do this and, maybe I could picture myself doing this. So that has been one thing that has helped me because I have found out that those people that I reach out to always end up coming back around, even if it's 6 months from now, a year from now, and saying, hey, I would like to learn a little bit more. And if they say, right now is not a good time, anytime your team hosts one of those sip and sees online, those events, invite them to that. And you don't have to seem salesy about it. Say, hey, my team is hosting this 30-minute long event. We're going to be having giveaways. And it's just a time for you to just learn a little bit more about plexus. You're not going to have to buy anything. I just think it would be great for you to learn a little bit more about it. And they're like, oh yeah, sure, invite me. So don't be afraid to reach out to those people because, people want what we have. And sometimes it just takes that, message from you to be like, yeah, I've been watching your posts and I'm kind of interested. So that is one thing that has really helped me. The fourth thing that I would say is your why. I'm sure you hear your leaders talk about this all the time. And I feel like sometimes it gets swept under the rug like, oh, you have to have your why. You guys, my why for my introverted, in the beginning, I can't believe I'm doing a network marketing company. My why was my rock because for me, having that why was something that was so important to me because I did in the beginning really get my feelings hurt about what people would say. Or, if I got a negative Nelly on a comment on my Facebook page, I would be like, oh my gosh, down in the bushes about oh, what she said. So for me, my why was, of course it's evolved over time, but one has stayed true is the only reason I'm a stay-at-home mom and to be able to stay home with my girls is because of plexus. And that why is what has drove me to where I am right now. Anytime I've gotten a negative comment, anytime I felt like I can't do this anymore, or I've just felt overwhelmed with all this plexus stuff, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have at some time, I think about picking my daughter up out of the crib in the morning or playing with Annabelle in the backyard. And that is something that you have got to find something that is worth everything that you're doing. I would do this for 10 years if it would take me to get to an Emerald Ambassador because it has been life-changing for my family, life-changing. My husband, should be an Emerald Ambassador either next month or in September. A double jewel family. That is life-changing income, you guys. And I would not be here staying home full-time with my kids if it wasn't for plexus. So I will never stop sharing about these products because my mission is to help people have financial freedom. People go to bed, you guys, at night, not worrying about 10 pounds. They're worrying about their bills or having enough money to pay for gymnastics for their kids. Or, people want, a better life for their children than they had. They want to do those extra family activities, even if it's going to Disney World. Fun stuff like that is what is going to drive your why. What is going to make you feel like this is worth it? Because I'm telling you, if I did not have them, sometimes this probably wouldn't be worth it. Whatever it is, if it's paying your house off early or retiring early or getting your husband home, whatever it is, find your why. Because for me, my why has driven me to an Emerald Ambassador. When I got to take my little girls to Hawaii last year, I mean, my Annabelle still talks about that. So just, things like this, that this company has given us that we would have never been able to do. Never. Like I'm telling you, like I told you, I had to go back to work after Annabelle was 3 months old and wait tables because my husband works in law enforcement. He makes good money, but it wasn't enough for me for us to comfortably stay home. So that is something that, staying home with my girls was not in the cards for us. Some women are blessed beyond belief to be able to have no worries and be able to stay home with their kids. For me, it wasn't. I knew that. So for this opportunity to literally fall in my lap and just explode like it did, anyone can do this, you guys. Anyone. So don't compare yourself to anyone on this journey. Nobody, because everyone's journey is different. Everyone will rank up. Some people will rank up fast. Some people will rank up slow. I think there is a diamond ambassador that took her 8 months to go silver, but she's a diamond ambassador. You know what I mean? Like that is life-changing income. So don't feel discouraged. Do your IPAs, do your income producing activities, reach out to people. You have got to put some action behind what you want to get where you want to be. You have to do it, you guys. Set aside time. Do a power hour once a week where you sit down for an hour and just work plexus. Train your level ones, duplicate. You have to do these things to get where you want. So my biggest tips are all those that I gave you and just putting action behind what you want to do, because that is what's going to drive you to the top of this company. And you can do it. Anybody can do this. I've seen all walks of life on my team rank up. I have a girl that's about to rank up to Emerald. All walks of life. Whenever you go to Hawaii, whenever you guys make it to Hawaii, I mean, that's one thing I noticed last year was it's just so everyone's so different. Like, it's not just the same people there that, all stay-at-home moms. No, there is, it's just a broad spectrum of people that I'm like, gosh, all walks of life, anyone can do this, So please do not compare your journey to anyone. Stay laser focused to your goal, and I guarantee you will be where you want to be. So thank you, Kim, for getting me on here. Do you have any questions?
I do. I have a couple. I could just loved it so much. It was amazing. And I'm going to tell you the reason why we probably haven't met in person is because we're both introverts. And so we're probably like regrouping quiet, convention and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would have never guessed my room. Introvert.
Yes.
I'm okay.
Usually you can't guess when people are introverts when they tell you, you're like, because sometimes they hide it well.
Until it's the last day and you're like, I gotta, I'm getting a little cranky. Okay.
Yep.
So somebody, I've got a lot of young mamas on our team. And I think sometimes for them, it's a little overwhelming how to get out, meet people. And so I love the fact that you were in a new area, because that's another thing I hear from people. Well, I'm new in this area and I don't know anyone. But I have a girl that's asking, so when you're reaching out, is it always Plexus related or business building too? And does this include commenting on Facebook or personal messaging?
So I always if I have my eye on someone that I think that would be amazing, I'm always commenting on their stuff. Like if she posts a picture of her little girl, I'm like, oh my gosh, she is so cute. She's gotten so big. I'm always interacting with their stuff. And sometimes I do lead in with, hey, how are you doing? And build that conversation first. And sometimes I just flat out, send a voice message and say, I just sent one, I think yesterday, and she wrote back and she was like, yes, I'd love to hear more. And I was just like, hey, Amber, I know we've talked before, because we have talked before about the business opportunity, but I really, really think that you would be so amazing at this. You have such an awesome personality. You have such a high influence. I know you're staying home and you're working at night. I would love to help you rock this business, because I know that we could do this. And she sent me back and she's like, I'd love some more information. So, they are people that know me and know my heart and know that I'm not after I'm really honestly there to help them. So I am building that relationship on Facebook too first before I send the message. Like, obviously I'm commenting on their stuff and showing some kind of interest rather than just like, hey, join my Plexus team. And then, like Kim said, I did move to a new area in Fort Myers, and I knew absolutely nobody. And I was a total introvert, didn't want to get out of the house. And literally my husband was like, why don't you go to the library or something? Like, go do something, join something. So I ended up joining a baby boot camp. We were involved in a church, and I joined a MOPS group. So MOPS is Mothers of Preschool, kids. So if you have never joined a MOPS group, you guys, it's just amazing to talk. You're going through the same things, and I have made so many great friends, and my biggest rock stars with Plexus, I didn't know going into Plexus. I met them while I was in Plexus. So Kara, she's my Ruby ambassador. I met her off of a mom site on Facebook. She messaged me when I hit Ruby and was like, what is this Plexus thing you're doing? Like, I think I just added her from a mom's group on Facebook. And then my senior Ruby, Shannon, who just went senior Ruby this month, I met her off of a mom's Facebook group down in South Florida too. And they're my two rock stars, my senior Ruby and my Ruby ambassador, that I had no idea who they were before Plexus. The first time I ever met them was at Leaders Retreat in DC. And it was always, I was like so nervous. I was like, oh, this is so nerve-wracking. Like, I've never met them in person, because we had only lived in Fort Myers for like a year. And then when I had signed them up, we had already moved back. So I have a huge team down in South Florida, and it's from me networking, from joining moms groups and adding on Facebook. Like on my MOPS group, like when you join MOPS, try to find if there's a Facebook group for that MOPS group and go through that friends list and friend every single person on that list. That way that you can see when they have events, or you see if they're playing at the park, stuff like that, and they'll start seeing your stuff. So that's what I did, is I started friending moms that were in the same moms group. So I just moved to a new area. So I was living in Fort Walton Beach, and we just moved like 45 minutes away here in Pace. And we live in this neighborhood named Hammersmith. And I met, like, I would say 4 moms just from like my neighbor, and me and my neighbor have become good friends. This other cute girl down the street, we became friends, and I've just met like moms sporadically. And I was like, is there any like Facebook group for like Hammersmith moms? And they're like, laughed at me like, what? No. So you know what I did? I made a Hammersmith moms group, and you guys, guess how many people are in that group now? 67 moms.
Wow.
In my neighborhood, just from me starting that moms group. And I remember my friend Carrie laughed at me. She was like, no, there's not a Hammersmith moms group. So you know what I did? I went home that day and I made a Hammersmith moms group, and I added like the 5 moms that I met since I've lived here. And those 5 moms added their mom friends. Those mom friends added mom friends. And I became friends with all these moms now in my neighborhood. So that is a huge network for me. So I have grown my business here in Pace. We've only been here for under a year, and I've already signed 1 Fast Track Gold here. I've signed a couple level 1s. I have tons of customers from moving out here, and we have an Emerald Ambassador here named Melissa Goller. I don't know if you guys know her, but she is an Emerald Ambassador in my town. And she is like, oh, I'm just so mad that because I am going after it. I'm like, I am here and I'm going after these people because nobody here knows about Plexus. And she's like, I need you to come to one of our sippencies and tell my team, because they all think this town is like, run down, or just like people already know about Plexus, because it's, they've lived here, but I'm like, hello, I have not met one person in this town from the park. This is a military town. There is tons of stay-at-home moms. They're all pilot wives. I'm like, girl, I've talked to everyone here and nobody knows about Plexus. And she's like, that's what I'm telling my team. So get out of your comfort zone. Join a Bible study at your church. Ask if there's any Bible study. That is a great way to connect with women. Just good for yourself. Join a mom's group, join a baby boot camp, start a Facebook group. If you have a neighborhood, add 3 of your mom friends and it will expand. So those are things that have really helped me expand my network. And when I tell people that, they're like, that is so genius to start a Facebook group of moms for your neighborhood. So do that. Think outside the box. Get out and meet people, because I would not be successful if I stayed with my group of friends that I have known, my family, my group of friends. Like, those aren't the people that have taken me to the top with Plexus. It's networking and meeting new people, meeting new moms, meeting new friends that need this opportunity. So step out of that little bubble. It took me a really long time to understand that, to where, okay, I have got to think of something different. I've got to step out of the box. I've got to meet new people. And a lot of the times I found is people want that relationship. They want that friendship. They're just too scared to ask. Like, and you don't have to be super weird about it. All you do is have to say, hey, do you have a Facebook? Yeah, I'd love to get together again. I had so much fun today. Maybe we can get together soon. Yeah, I love that. What's your name? Add them on Facebook. Boom, y'all are friends on Facebook. They're automatically going to see your Plexus post, and schedule another play day or schedule a coffee day. If you don't have kids, you meet a mom or someone at the grocery store, your clerk, something like that. So you've got to build those relationships. That is what has taken me to where I am right now. Do you have any guys on your team, any suggestions? I doubt they will join moms groups. So I do have a couple moms on my team, or guys on my team. My husband is a senior Ruby underneath me, and I know you guys are probably like, well, you've probably worked his business underneath him and have made him a senior Ruby, but a lot of his runners on his team are people that he's worked with at the police department. Like, he has a girl named Jeanette who was the receptionist for the chief at the police department, and she's almost a senior gold ambassador. I had no idea who she was. He knows her. He has, of course they come to me because he's like, I think, he talks to them a little bit, but, I do all the training with them. But he has, by just sharing on Facebook or me sharing and tagging him on Facebook, has built a successful business. So what I would suggest for guys is, my husband brings his pink drink to work, and, guys tend to get made fun of too. I guess we all do. I know people at his work would make fun of him, like, oh, there's Mike with his pink drink. And I remember one time he was at a training or something, and he got an award, and they put Mr. Plexus on the top of the award. But those people always come back and are like, all right, dude, I'm ready. I want to try the products, or my wife is interested. She wants to lose some baby weight. I have gotten so many customers from his work just by him, bringing his products to work. And then one thing he started doing was he had the little what are they called? The NutriBullets, or where he would make a P96 at work. And people are like, oh, what's that packet of shakes? So it's just a way of advertising Plexus with either having a water bottle or P96 shakes. People will ask them, if they're being bold about it. And my husband is a total introvert. He sometimes post on Facebook, but it's just not his thing, but he 100% believes in the products. He will tell you that ProBio 5 has changed his life. It's just been amazing for him. And he will tell any of his friends about Plexus. If they bring it up, he will talk about it, but he's just not a natural sharer like I am. So guys, it's a little different. I mean, I know there's some guys out there that share all the time. So,
did you tagging him in your posts?
Yeah, I started tagging him in my posts, and I would get messages from girl or people that he worked with, and I would be like, hey, who's Jeanette? And he's like, oh, she was the chief secretary. I'm like, oh, well, she's interested in Plexus, and I wasn't friends with her. They were friends with him. So, that is how, he has built a successful business, is by me tagging him in it. And of course he has posted as well too, but he's not as consistent. I always tell him, if you were more consistent and posted every day, we'd probably be diamond by now. But he's just it's just not my thing. So I'm like, okay, I understand. So, I tag him in a lot of stuff. And then one thing I just started doing too is sometimes I tag my mom and stuff as well, because she has, friends that she works with and, friends on her friends list. So tag your husbands, tag your mom, tag people like that will, because when you tag them, that post will show up on their newsfeed. So that is one thing that has helped, my husband build his business. And we do have, we have a guy that went gold on our team this month who has shared the business. So, I mean, I feel like guys have an equal opportunity. They just, for some reason, are just a little more timid to share, I think.
Mm-hmm. I love that your husband is about to go emerald, that y'all are going to be a double jewel. I don't know that I knew that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I've got one more question, and I don't want to take up more of your time because I know you've got family time, but are you a big reader, personal growth? Did you focus a lot on that?
Yeah, so I'm not like a huge like reader, like I've never really have been, but I have during my journey. I have a couple groups or books over here, but one that I have read that has really helped me that I think everyone should do is like a daily devotional. Starting your day right. This is something that has changed everything for my business since Carrie Wilkerson in Hawaii. She told us that, and I remember listening to her going like, oh my gosh, this is my life. She's like, if you wake up in the morning and you pick up your cell phone and you're messaging 5 people first thing out of the bat, in the morning and telling them like how to find their website or how to do this, you're going to be in a bad mood. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so my life. I roll out of bed in the morning, I grab my cell phone and I'm like responding to messages to my team. And they're asking me questions of like, how do I do this? Or how did I do that? And I'm like, okay, I just posted that on the team page yesterday. And that is something that, that I've already said. Either I did a live video on my team page and I'm like, okay, well, obviously they're not watching it. So I would literally be like drained, like worn out. And those of you that are just starting out, or those of you that have been in this business in a while, you know what I'm talking about, that you can feel like run down. And that is like the worst feeling, to be like, oh, I love these products. I love everything this comes, but I'm just like tired of doing it. So she said, don't pick up your cell phone in the morning. Go to the bathroom, go pee, go brush your teeth, maybe put some lip gloss on, maybe look at your kids in the eye and say good morning and make them breakfast. Like they will be okay. They will not die, Maybe they'll find the answer for themselves. And that's when I just kind of had an aha moment of like, she's right. Like, I don't, like me, I'm a people pleaser. Like, I'm like, okay, like, I feel like she'll think I'm a bad leader if I don't reach out to her right away, or I don't want her to, think that I don't care. I want everyone to succeed. So I started doing that in the morning. I would, read a daily devotional. I have that one over there that I read every morning. It's called Jesus Today. And it's like literally just a small paragraph of, just a daily devotional. And I take some time for myself and start my morning off right. Maybe drink a cup of coffee, go to the bathroom, fix my kids' breakfast. And then when I put Josie down for a nap, I say, okay, Annabelle, mommy's going to go in the office real quick and I'm going to work for about 30 minutes and then we'll go outside and play. Okay. And she's like, okay, mommy. And I tell her, I think it's good for your husband and your kids to know you have a goal, and mommy's able to stay home because I work my Plexus business, and Annabelle understands that. She hates when Mike goes to work in the morning. And I'm like, do you want mommy to go to work like daddy does and leave? And no, mommy, no. Okay, mommy has to work a Plexus business because mommy's able to stay home. So she understands. She knows that mommy is working. Mommy has a business. It's serious. We go to Hawaii because I work my Plexus business. We're going to go to Disney, because I'm working my Plexus business. So give those things to them that they look forward to. Like I always tell Annabelle, mommy's going to go work because we're going to get Disney tickets. Mommy's going to win that for leaders retreat. Okay, baby. Okay, mommy. Okay. And she gets excited. So get your kids excited, sit down with them and tell them your goals, because those are your shareholders. Those are the people that need to know what's going on, with your business. So that's what I do is I get out of bed in the morning. I don't pick up my cell phone right away. And I have found such a huge relief in my business because I do still get those messages. And when I pick up my phone and I'm ready to work, sometimes magically they find the answer, or they call customer service and they figure it out on their own and they learn something else in the meantime. And I'm like, okay, good. Because if I would have picked up my phone at 8 or 6:30 in the morning and wrote them back, I would have spent 45 minutes of my morning figuring out the answer that, since I just let it be, they already found that out. So, as your team starts growing, you will start to realize that, and you've got to set boundaries. You've got to set time for yourself and have those working hours, because you will feel like you're working all day long if you don't. And I preach time freedom for my team, and for a very, very long time, I was not living that way. My husband was like, why are you always on your phone? You don't want your husband to be bitter towards you. You don't want your kids to be like, Mommy, put down your phone. So make those hours. Tell your kids, like, mommy's going to go to the other room real quick. She's going to work for 30 minutes, and then we're going to go to the splash pad, or we're going to go to Target, or whatever it is, you know? So set those goals. Do that for your team. You don't have to answer them right away. I give everyone now, like, if they're not my level ones, I give it 24 hours before I open the message and respond. Because for one, you know, a lot of people like to, whenever you start ranking up, a lot of people like to go to the very top, when really that silver ambassador or that gold ambassador, she rocks the business and she can answer that question for you. You know what I mean? Go to your silver upline, go to your gold upline. Those people know what they're doing. Just because I'm an emerald ambassador, sometimes I get questions. I'm like, girl, I don't know. You know, like, I don't know. We do not have all the answers. So, you know, get with your upline, ask them a question. If they don't know it, they're going to reach out to their upline. And then one thing that I have started doing that has really helped is if I get a message from a level 4 and they're asking me how to find my website, I'll start a group thread with that level 4 and their sponsor and me. And I say, hey, Ashley, your sweet level 1 Lauren is really excited about starting this business, and she wants to know where her website is. I thought this would be a great learning opportunity for all of us. Can you show her where it's at? That way Lauren or Ashley knows that Lauren is really interested and she wants her website to work the business. And that way, if she doesn't know how to find it, I can show all of them all at once, so that now both of them know how to find it. So, you know what I mean? So I have to, instead of me, like, for me, I'm just like, okay, here's your website. But I'm like, okay, she still doesn't know how to find it. So make sure that you're teaching them. I know in the beginning, I was just doing, like in management mode, where I was like, okay, people need to start learning, because whatever you do in the beginning of your business is what's going to be duplicated all the way down. So you want to make sure that what you're doing right now is something that you want to be done all the way down. 7 levels deep, 12 levels deep, whatever it is. So start your duplication right now. If you're a silver ambassador, start that right now. Start training your level 1s, training your level 1s to train their level 1s, training to go silver, because that is just going to trickle down and your business is going to explode.
I love it. Awesome stuff. Good information. And I've just been talking to my team about time freedom too. So I love it. We're on the same page. Well, thank you for giving us your Sunday night and pouring into our team. I'm not even going to ask any more questions because we need to call it quits so you can go and be with your family. But I'm excited you're pushing for Sapphire, and congratulations on your huge success. I'm so happy that you get to stay at home with your girls.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. And I hope you guys pulled some little nuggets from this. And I just feel so honored to talk to Kim's team tonight and meet all of you guys. So hopefully I'll be seeing a lot of you guys in Orlando. I hope you're pushing for Leaders Retreat, because Leaders Retreat, you guys, is amazing. I've been to 2 and they're life-changing. So get to those Leaders Retreat. It's so much different than convention. It's just it's more intimate. You learn so much more. So really strive to get there. I mean, it's incredible. And your rooms, the Gaylords are always beautiful. Your room is paid for. So get there. It's so obtainable. I mean, there are silvers last year on my team that are in Leaders Retreat. So just because you're a brand new ambassador does not mean you cannot earn this trip. Strive for it.
You know what? I was going to say, for those that don't know my story, my husband was not on board with Plexus. He thought it was a joke. And it was Leaders Retreat. When I took him to the trip, that he was like, okay, maybe this is legit. It's a legit business. I mean, they threw a party. And so if you have a spouse that maybe isn't on board, a couple things: start making money, and then get the trips. They're huge.
I didn't go to my first convention because my husband was like, no, you're not going to convention. Like, that's crazy. Granted, I had just joined 3 months before, but he was like, no, you're not going to convention. He was totally not on board, like totally thought I was loony for doing this. So, and going to Leaders Retreat in DC, he was like, wow. I also earned the Silver Star Trip. I don't know if a lot of you guys know what that is, but it is, now they pick 3 every single month, and you have to get as many silvers on your team, levels 1 through 4, to go silver. And I think the month that I went silver, I had like 12 silvers on my team that month, level 1 through 4s, and I earned the Silver Star Trip. And of course, I took my husband, and they flew us. They paid for our trip, flew us to Scottsdale, Arizona. A limo picked us up with a guy holding our last name at the airport. We went to the spa. We went to dinner with Alec Clark, just me, my husband, and Alec Clark. We got to sit down and talk to him. We got to tour, corporate. And I always joke, I'm like, I had to fly you to meet the CEO and the CMO of Plexus and like tour the facility and take you to an amazing resort for you to go all in with this company. But he was just like, I remember after that, he was just like, so like, I cannot believe this. Like even just meeting the employees, like the customer service people and just the people that work behind the scenes, like how much they love their job. Like, everyone at Plexus is so happy. And that is one thing that really stuck out to me is, gosh, the employees are so happy. You can't fake being happy at work. I'm sorry. They had a snack room. They had a pool table. They had bean bags, ping pong. Plexus does it right for everyone that works for them and contributes to this company. So I remember me and my husband were talking at the resort later, and he was just like, one thing that really stood out was just how amazing they treat their customer or their employees. Like when we were there, they had this big wheel, and they do it every Friday.
I've seen that. It's amazing. Yeah.
They have this big wheel, and all the employees come together, and Tarl and Alec spin it 5 or 6 times, and they give away there's $50 gift cards on there, $400 giveaways, these awesome, and they do it every Friday afternoon, and they give away this cash money and they're all excited. They're cheering, and me and Mike were just what company does this? It was just amazing. Just everything. It was not fake, it was just so genuine. Alec Clark is amazing. He brought his 2 boys with him to dinner with us, and they were so well behaved. And for him, the president of Plexus to I don't know, when I think of a president and a CEO, I think of just snobby and suit. He came with his 2 kids and was like, I hope you guys don't mind. Trish is out of town. And we were like, oh no, and they were just so well behaved. And it was just cool to see him in the father mode too, and with his boys. And it was just so different. And my husband is, he's a special agent for the state of Florida. So he deals with a lot of, he has a hard time with, just believing people and trusting the stuff that he deals with. And he was just blown away. Gosh, the executives are incredible. So if you don't know our executives, really, if you go to an event, find them, pull them aside and talk to them. They will talk to you. They're the most humble guys I've ever met in my whole life. So research our executives, research the people that work for Plexus. I think it's amazing how just all of our executives are always so happy and love what they do.
So. I agree. It's amazing. I want you, before I hang up, I want you to read that note because it's for you, not for me.
Oh, that is so sweet. Ashley, I have my second baby. Oh, in September. Congratulations.
She has another baby at home, so she's a busy mama too, which I love. Yes. Mamas on the team. So, well, thank you so much. This was such a blessing. It was a godsend, even just for me to listen to you. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. It was nice to meet all of you.
Have a good night, and then I will hopefully meet you in Hawaii.
Yes, we're going to have to take time, and I'll message you. I'm so excited. All right, bye, girl.
Bye.
Bye.